Hello everybody, this is a tutorial for my Year 12s. This is on the topic of transformations. Now traditionally I've found that students find transformations difficult, so you're going to have to be a bit patient in your learning of this topic. If you don't get it quite right away, you're going to have to practice until you do get it. Alrighty, now the transformations I'm picking at the moment are mainly out of 3D, but you could probably apply them to some of the other exercises we're doing in Chapter 3 as well. Now here's a fairly typical type of a translation problem. Find the new equation of this graph here, y equals x plus 1, if it is translated 3 units to the left and then it's reflected in the x-axis. So what's happening here is we have an old equation, y equals x plus 1. Now it's translated to a new graph, and the new graph we'll call y dashed and x dashed. Now it won't be exactly the same equation, it'll be a new equation. Now it's subjected to two different transformative kind of experiences here. Now let's think about what this might do. So if we pick a point on y equals x plus 1, let's call it xy. And it's going to be translated to this new point. Now the first thing that happens is we move it 3 units to the left. Now if we moved a point 3 units to the left, that would mean the x value was 3 units smaller than it used to be. So that will be why x will have any x value on the line will have 3 values taken off it, or 3 points taken off it, because it's moved 3 units to the left. Then it's reflected in the y-axis. Well, if you imagine a graph is reflected in the y-axis, let's pick a point up here. This is xy. If it's reflected in the x-axis, it'll be down here. And the y value will change from being positive here to negative there, which is why the new point will be equal to x minus 3, and that y will change from a positive y to a negative y. Now after we've translated it with these two things, that will be equal to any new points on the graph. Okay, well that will mean that the old graph, or the old x value minus 3, will be equal to the new x value. So that will be an equation like that. Now the old y value will be equal to the new y value. So that would mean y dash is equal to negative y. Well, how can we figure out what our new equation is? We've only got a graph in terms of our old x and y values. Well, what about we use some algebraic manipulation? If we manipulated this graph and took the minus 3 from that side to the other side, we'd end up with this expression. And if we took the negative from this side across to this side, we'd end up with the old y equals negative the new y. Well, how do we figure out what our new graph is? Well, let's use our old graph and substitute in these points. So if we have y equals x plus 1, and then we substitute in the new things that we know in place of the old value of y, the new value of y would look like that. In place of the old value of x, what about we sub in the new value of x? Now if we do some manipulation on that, we could say minus the new value of y will be equal to the new value of x plus 4, and if we take that negative across to the other side, here is our graph after it's been translated according to the translations that we have. Alrighty, I'll do another couple of these and put them onto YouTube and into my Agkin. Alright, see you in class. Hope this helped a little bit.